Hi, gang. Bob Boving with you for the Mystery Project. And tonight, the latest Peggy Delaney story by James W. Nichol. Carlos has a case. A murder has been discovered in a midtown apartment complex. A young woman with a mysterious background. Peggy is suitably intrigued and tries out for detective. The play is called A Place to Call Home, starring Kyra Harper.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, feel free now. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, socialist, cop hater, cop lover, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, or anything else that strikes your fancy, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy.
Oh, hello there.
Hello?
What are you doing in my bachelor pad at 1 in the morning?
Why, are you worried about my reputation?
I didn't know you had one to worry about. Hi.
Hi. I just thought you could use a little company tonight. Amber's staying over at Sue's place. Some school project they're working on. So, I had the opportunity, and I had the motive.
I really like the way your mind works.
I thought you might. You look worn out.
Never.
I mean, from your work. So, who bumped off who tonight?
Last night, actually. We don't know who the victim is yet, let alone the killer. Rub my back.
He said, hopefully. Okay.
Oh. We got an anonymous tip. Check out a penthouse in a Bloor Street high-rise. Oh! A couple of patrol cops went over, woke up the soup to let him in. They found a girl, about 18, 19 years old. Oh, lying on a bed in her pajamas, length of rope looped once around her neck.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. She was pretty. South American, maybe. She had that part Indian, part Spanish look. One of the cops said when he touched her, she still felt warm. Oh. By the time I got there, she was cold.
Do you have a name for her?
Yeah, Mary Logan. Probably false. Oh, no ID anywhere in the apartment. No photographs, no mail, nothing personal at all. She paid her rent in cash. Been living in that place for about a year. All new furniture.
What did her neighbors say?
That she seemed to live alone, that she had a nice smile. One woman remembered seeing a middle-aged white guy coming and going a couple of times.
Was it a sex crime? Was she...
molested? Didn't look that way. The lab will tell us. It just looked efficient. Someone just wanted her dead. Someone she probably knew. Happened in the middle of the night. Not a scratch on her apartment door, balcony door, windows.
So she let him in?
Or he had keys. On her rental application, she said she was employed by TL Enterprises, and her personal reference turned out to be an immigration lawyer, Peter A. Kettle. I took him over to the morgue, but he couldn't identify her. He says he has lots of clients, lets them use him for references for all kinds of things. Said he'd check his files.
How about where she worked?
An office building on King Street. But TL Enterprises had moved. The company that runs the building still had photocopies of their rent checks, so I got the name of the guy who signed the checks, and the branch where they did their banking. I'll be following that up first thing this morning.
After you get a decent sleep.
Yeah.
What about the guy who called in the tip?
Suddenly I feel like I'm being interviewed by the Toronto Tribune.
Just asking.
He used a payphone outside a mall on Dufferin Street, 3:14 in the morning.
And the middle-aged white guy who the neighbor saw coming out of her apartment a couple of times? Is that immigration lawyer a middle-aged white guy?
Oh, yeah. I'll arrest him later.
Good morning. Welcome home from wherever you've been.
I thought you were going to school from Sue's.
No, I don't have any classes until 11. I guess I forgot to mention that. So I came home.
Oh.
Want some toast?
No thanks.
Your bed hasn't been slept in. So where were you? Up at Carlos's?
Yeah. I'm sorry if I worried you.
So, have you two changed your minds?
About what?
All of us moving into that house together.
No, I would have told you if we'd changed our minds. We put some money down the other day. They'll be finished redecorating it soon.
Mom, there was a dead baby in the basement.
I know, but it'd been there for over 50 years, and it's not there now. At first, when we asked you, you said it was okay. You sounded excited about it.
Yeah, I love the house, but I keep thinking about that poor woman and not knowing what to do and hiding her dead baby and everything.
Right.
How much money did you put down?
Oh, first on last month's rent.
Really? Well, that's over
$4,000.
Huh. Well, can I still think about it?
Absolutely. She's still thinking about it.
You want your fries?
No.
Mind?
No.
Well, we just won't move there. She's spooked about it, and there's lots of other places.
And then you can go get our money back.
Right.
So, anything new on that mysterious murdered girl in the penthouse?
No, don't ask.
So, anything new on that mysterious murdered girl in the penthouse?
I've been taken off the case until further notice.
Why?
Because it's been taken over by the RCMP.
Oh, that's interesting.
Not to me. She just fits in with some larger investigation they're doing. By the time they get everything they want, my evidence will be scattered all over the place. They don't give a damn about her.
Yeah. And you do. Who do you think she was?
Somebody's little friend. Somebody who set her up in that apartment and paid for everything.
You think so?
Yeah. Even after living easy for a year or so, her hands were still calloused and thick-looking. She had to have worked hard all her life.
Mm-hmm. Carlos, you did say there was nothing personal in her apartment.
Not a thing.
That's hard to believe.
Why?
Because she was a teenager. Probably far away from her home. Maybe somebody told her to get rid of everything personal, but I don't think she would have. She'd keep some photograph, some little keepsake. Something, well, particularly if she was being kept in that penthouse, just to remind herself of who she really was.
Mm-hmm.
How thoroughly did you search?
Well, not very. We were just looking for her ID.
And who's in charge of the crime scene now? The RCMP?
No, we still are.
But you can't get involved anymore.
Who says I can't?
Your boss?
You'll understand. He didn't like our investigation being stalled any more than I did. And nothing hidden in the toilet reservoir.
Try that air vent up there.
That was next on my list. I'll just stand on the toilet. Try not to fall in. These screws seem a little loose. I'll use a dime to turn them. My version of a compact screwdriver. I just need to unscrew one. The vent should swing down. Enough for me to... Well, hello.
Hello what?
There's a little cache of goodies in here.
I told you.
I know. Here, I'll hand them down. Picture of a saint.
Got it.
And looks like some family photographs and a bundle of letters.
These envelopes are all addressed to this building.
Good. Who to?
To Maria Diaz.
Oh, that sounds more like it. I think we just found out her real name.
All these letters are written in Spanish.
I'll get them translated.
This must be her family. Grandparents, parents, everybody.
Yeah. See this photo? That girl?
Uh-huh.
That's Maria Diaz.
Maria Diaz? It still doesn't ring a bell.
That's surprising, since you worked for your company, when it was called TL Enterprises.
I hire a lot of people. They come and they go. It's just, I like to do my part, helping out my fellow countrymen, you know.
Your country being where?
El Salvador. Beautiful, if you're a goat, or maybe one of these parrots. But if you're a human being, it's very hard there. Life is very hard, you know.
Yeah. So, Mr. Tolosa.
Jose, please.
Jose, I'd like you to take one more look at the photograph.
I don't like looking at dead people.
Then look at this one. Probably taken in El Salvador when she was alive.
Same girl. This is very sad, you know.
But you still don't remember employing her?
No.
I noticed piles of rugs in the outer office. Are you in the import business?
Oh, that's an excellent observation. Genuine Salvadorian handcrafted rugs. Beautiful. So, how did you find me?
You're still at the same bank you were at when Maria Diaz worked for you. They gave me your new business address.
Quite the aviary you have. Do you sell parrots, too?
My sweet little birds? No. I keep them all for myself. They keep me company.
Peggy Delaney, Toronto Trib.
Hi.
Hi.
Got my translations back on those letters.
Oh?
Most of them were from a cousin of Maria's in San Miguel. This cousin seemed to know a lot.
Like what?
Maria came into Canada on a 6-month visitor's visa about 1.5 years ago. The visas were arranged from this end, who they were supposed to be visiting in Canada, the guarantees, and so on. All they had to do once they got here was get lost and work it off.
How?
In illegal sweatshops hidden around town. Seems Maria spent her first 6 months putting no-name CD burners together in some basement somewhere.
So how did she get into that penthouse on Bloor Street?
Because, according to what her cousin was writing, someone in Citizenship and Immigration Canada took a shine to her.
You're kidding.
Peggy, I've got his name. Maria's cousin wrote that this hombre, Charles Draper, sounded like one big sewer rat to her. She didn't believe he'd leave his wife, make Maria's status in Canada legal, and marry her. But it sounds like Maria did.
And who exactly is this Charles Draper?
An assistant director, responsible for enforcement. He's the guy who decides which illegal immigrants in Toronto were pursued by immigration officers and which ones aren't. If he wants a file buried, I imagine it gets buried.
Carlos. He's our middle-aged white guy. Maria's visitor.
Very possible.
Hello?
Good morning. Are you Anna Matos? I was told this was your room.
Why?
Well, because I know a friend of yours. She was just wondering if you were still at this address, because she'd been sending you letters, but you hadn't written her back. She asked her cousin, Maria Diaz, to see if you were still living here, because you and Maria are best friends, too, right?
I don't know anything you're talking about.
Anna, wait. Did you know Maria was dead?
This is true? We heard something. We didn't know. This is true? Oh, my God.
I'm trying to find out what happened.
I don't know anything. I haven't seen her for a long time. They steal our mail now. They don't let us go anywhere.
Who doesn't let...
Talk to Rosa Zapata if you want to know what happened to Maria. Don't talk to me.
All right. Is Rosa in another one of these rooms?
No. I think she ran away last night. She's not here. I'm so scared.
Anna, talk to me, please. Just for a moment. Maybe I can help you.
You are police?
Yes.
I have half a chocolate bar.
It's okay.
You sit on the chair, please.
Thanks.
Excuse my bed. I haven't made yet.
Anna, this Rosa Zapata, why did she run away?
She was scared, too. We come here on visitor's permit, then go underground. We were promised landed papers if we worked 16 months. But we have been working for years and still no papers. We can't go anywhere, do anything with no papers. Just do work and try to live on what they give. But Rosa got angry, and she went to the police.
What police?
The Canadian police. They promised her papers if she'd tell them everything.
What did she tell them?
She knew who it was in their government who helped Jose Tolosa bring us here.
Jose Tolosa, who imports Salvadorian rugs.
Not rugs. People.
And the person in the Canadian government? How did Rosa know who that was?
Because Rosa was Jose Tolosa's girlfriend. He got drunk one night and told Rosa about the Canadian he bribes in the immigration office. He told her he really had this man under his thumb now. Jose, he gave to this man Maria Diaz.
What do you mean? Gave him Maria? You mean like a present?
Jose brought Maria to meet that man. Maybe they liked each other. I don't know. But soon, Maria moved out of here.
That was last year?
Yes.
But why did Rosa go to the police and tell them all this?
Because Jose Tolosa got tired of Rosa. He didn't want her anymore. She wanted him, so he beat her.
Oh.
She was so angry. She pretended not to care, to just be a good worker like the rest of us. But she swore to get even.
Right. So, the RCMP were investigating the man Jose Tolosa was bribing in immigration. And that's how they knew about that man's girlfriend, Maria Diaz. And that's why they showed up when she was murdered.
Poor Maria. Oh, God. I don't care if you send me back to El Salvador. Just, please, help me get away from here.
Yes. Okay, Anna. Okay. I'll try.
Thanks for the report. You're getting good at this.
Yeah. I told her I was a cop.
You what?
Look, I had to. And I told her that meaning the police, would try to help her.
Oh, yeah. It's almost 10 o'clock now. This Charles Draper keeps civil servant hours, all right. How far away are you?
About 10 more minutes.
You'll see me sitting in my car beside the immigration building, opposite his parking space. You'll probably beat him here.
I'm planning on it. What are you going to do?
Well, a guy's being investigated by the RCMP. Maybe he got wind of it. Got scared. Tolosa's not going to tell the RCMP anything. But maybe Draper was afraid that Maria would. He'd have keys to her place, wouldn't he?
And, as far as he knew, there was nothing connecting him to Maria in that apartment. What are you going to do?
Talk to him.
Are you Charles Draper?
Yes? Detective Carlos Szabo, Metro Police, homicide. We'd like to talk to you for a minute.
Why?
A young lady was murdered the other night by the name of Maria Diaz.
Maria Diaz? No, I'm afraid I don't know.
She knew you. Your name was mentioned several times in letters in her possession.
As the man who was paying for the apartment where she was found murdered.
And as her lover, who was going to get her citizenship papers and leave his wife and marry...
Wait. We can't stand out here like this. Let's just get back inside my car before someone sees us. Could we, please?
Sure.
Do you think it's right that people like Maria are kept out of this country when we have so much and they have so little?
Meaning?
Meaning, I was only trying to do what was right.
Tolosa was paying you, wasn't he?
Yes. But the principle remains the same. I was taking enormous risks.
To provide Tolosa with an impoverished third world workforce right in the heart of Toronto.
I was working unceasingly on how to give these women their landed status. The system's very complicated. I had to proceed with extreme caution. But I had almost found a way. And then, well, they would have been free to go wherever they pleased. And so it all would have been a good thing, right?
And Maria?
Maria. I loved Maria.
How did you meet her?
Tolosa said there was this exceptional girl, bright and pretty and charming. He said I should meet the kind of people I was helping bring into the country. So I met her. She was everything Tolosa had said. More. More. We fell in love. It was magic. The greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Right. Things must have gotten very complicated for you, though. You have a wife, children. Maria thought you were going to leave.
I was. There was nothing else I wanted. There was no one else I thought of, dreamed of. I just hadn't quite figured out just how to do it. That's all. I was working on it. But I have a house and pensions and investments. Divorces. It's all very complicated, you know.
What happened to Maria, Mr. Draper, when all this got too complicated? What did you do?
Nothing. I did nothing. The RCMP were snooping into files, coming closer and closer. I told Tolosa I had to stop. He said there was no stopping. He said if I refused to help him anymore, he'd talk to the RCMP, and he'd talk to my wife.
You were trapped, then?
Trapped. Yes. And terrified. I'm still terrified. What do you know about Jose Tolosa?
That he had arrived in this country about 15 years ago, claiming refugee status, which he was subsequently granted.
And do you know why he was claiming refugee status?
No.
Because he was part of a counterinsurgency group in El Salvador. That's why. Trained by the CIA. And do you know what counterinsurgency people are trained to do? Here. You don't have to believe me.
Wait, don't! I'll break your hand off. What do you think you're doing?
There's something in the glove compartment. Please. You have to hear it.
Okay, but move slowly.
Tolosa was threatening me. He'd been calling all the time. I started to tape everything for my own protection. On Tuesday, in the middle of the night, he called again. Yes?
Charles.
Leave me alone.
Unfortunately, my friend, it's all over.
What's all over?
I just called the cops.
What? Oh, God, no. Oh, no.
No, not about you. Never about you, Charles. You're too good a friend. No. Maria.
What about Maria?
I paid her a visit tonight. Asked her very nicely if she would threaten you, Charles.
Threaten me?
Threaten to leave you. Threaten to tell your wife. Threaten to tell the police if you stop working for me. And do you know what she said, Charles?
No.
She said she loved you. She said no. Charles?
What?
I can't protect you anymore if you're not on my side. Just like I couldn't protect Maria anymore.
What do you mean?
I mean, she's dead, Charles.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. No.
Maria, she really did believe in you, didn't she?
Yes. Yes, she did. She was so poor. She had nothing to give. And she gave me everything.
You have just heard A Place to Call Home by James W. Nichol. This week's episode of Peggy Delaney. Heard in the cast today, Kyra Harper as Peggy, Caterina Scorsone as Amber, George Buza as Carlos. With them were Dennis O'Connor as Jose Tolosa, Valeska Gonzalez as Ana Matos, and Jesse Collins as Charles Draper. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka and performed by Ray Parker, Kevin McKenzie, Rick Whitelaw, and Scott Alexander. The recording engineer was Wayne Richards, with sound effects by Matt Wilcott. The associate producer was Colleen Woods. Production and direction were by Bill Howell, the executive producer of the Mystery Project. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening and inviting your comments. See you next week.